Totally. Hey guys, what's up? This is TugAtHumanity, and this is my friend Duncan, who's gonna be with me
Hello.
today. So the juicy fruit pause is over. It's been over for a minute. I
There you go.
haven't said anything forever. Um, I said I was going to once the juicy fruit pause was over, and I'm a lying piece of crap. But now we have another pause, which I'm not going to name because I'm really tired of the pauses. I get it?
Homestuck pause.
Yeah, another Homestuck pause. He doesn't read the on the updates as much as I do. He stopped somewhere around like Jake and Dirk.
Act 6,
Act 6.
I believe. I was somewhere within there. I can't
Okay.
even remember.
Well, he's read quite a bit of Homestuck. I've read its entirety.
I got to a
So
decent stopping point. Put it at that.
so I consider us to be like more or less authorities on the subject. Hence all my theory videos and whatever. But anyway, we are not talking about a theory today. I'm sure whatever I decide to name this video will say that much. We are going to talk about fan trolls. Oh, you all know them. Some are horrible. Some are amazing. Some are. I heard a rumor once that like Aridin used to be a fan troll.
Something like that. I'm not too sure on how legitimate that is, but pretty sure with your 60 some odd subscribers, they could probably find something about it.
So yeah,
If it's false, then fuck, that's saddening. But hey,
I'll look
it's
it
what
up.
it is.
I mean, I probably should have looked it up by now, frankly. But anyway,
It's beside the point.
I have an OC. You have an OC. He has an OC. Well, I don't know if you have an OC. Jeff. Is your name Jeff? You probably have an OC, Jeff. Um, but a lot of us have OCs for like our favorite fandoms or whatever.
Probably that one person watching that has like 6 million of them.
Yeah, some people have 6 million OCs, like legitimately 6 million.
They could populate the earth.
So I'm going to tell you my list of things that I have to have in my fan troll, so that I think that they're good or at least decent enough to share with others. Some people are just like, I'm going to not even read up to Act 5, and I'm just going to make a fan troll.
Don't be a pleb.
As my friend would say, don't be a pleb.
That's the internet would say.
I think that you should read at least past Act 5, so you know something about trolls, so you're not just making one to be cool, or like, because you think, oh wow, look, they have horns, huh? It's not cool, guys.
It doesn't just work like that.
Well, I'm going to try to help you make one that I believe would fit into the Homestuck universe. As well, I mean, Andrew has already said that all fan trolls are technically canon,
But he doesn't give a shit, so.
But he doesn't actually care. So, listen, guys, this is just my guideline. You don't actually have to abide by this. You could ignore me. He could ignore me. I could ignore me.
We could ignore you.
You could ignore you. No, I love you guys. You know that. So, let's start with this. Trolls. Okay. Spoilers. Trolls came up in Act 5. They are a race of alien species that live on the planet Alternia. I'm not going to give you like an entire introduction about what trolls are because
You're gonna read that.
You're gonna read that. But you know what trolls are. I know what trolls are. Well, first off, names. Trolls always have 6 letters in their first and last name. Karkat Vantis, 6 letters. So when you're making a troll, be sure to give them 6 in their first, 6 in their last. These rules are pretty general. They're not that difficult. Like I said, you don't have to abide by these, but most people respect that when you do. This is actually like rules I've made after my years and years of RPing Homestuck. Okay, let's get to blood color. They're the hemospectrum, which is the way that the trolls live. It's they're like their code, how they live by. This is their society. It's based on the hemospectrum, which is their blood colors. It starts at the low bloods, which go from red, brown, yellow to green. Green covering like olive and jade and teal, though these are usually technically middle class.
If you're going in depth enough.
If we're going really in depth, to high bloods, which are the blue bloods, the purple bloods, violet bloods, and fuchsia bloods. Keep in mind that fuchsia bloods, there's 2. There is the current empress and an heiress. There are no male fuchsia bloods because males and extra fuchsias are culled at birth. I think it's to keep them from fighting for the throne constantly, or I'm
cause
sure
a ton of civil wars and etc.
I'm sure there's an in-depth reason. I don't know in particularly why. This is just a theory, a fan theory.
That, knowing the contest, is probably based on she picks who she wants to come in next, and that's just how it is.
Knowing her,
She's a total bitch.
Psycho Fish, Nicki Minaj, but
The Batter Witch.
the Batter Witch. Okay.
More kind of spoilers.
More
not
kind
really.
of spoilers. Picking your blood color helps create your troll's personality, where they live, how they interact with others. Red bloods, brown bloods, yellow bloods tend to live in widely populated areas. They live around other trolls,
Cities to suburbs.
cities and suburbs, etc. They live around their own kind because they are the most povertous and the most common.
Although yellow bloods seem to live in the biggest cities.
Yes,
Based
yellow
on
bloods
Solix.
also have an incredibly large population, so they live in very condensed cities. Solix is a good example of this.
He
with
lives in a
his-
fucking skyscraper.
His skyscraper.
So I think would probably be the biggest hive out of everybody.
Yeah, he does have a really big hive, but I don't know. Have you seen Vriska's hive?
Yeah.
Her hive
She
is
has like a castle hive.
It's a castle.
So
but-
I mean, then again, I wonder if the yellow bloods are based kind of like I wouldn't say necessarily drones, but maybe they all live like it's a multi-hive. Wouldn't necessarily say
Like an
it's-
apartment building?
Yeah,
Maybe.
because there's so many of them and everything.
I mean, we don't see a lot of trolls outside of specific scenes in Homestuck.
Yeah, so
The
who
troll
knows?
kids don't interact with trolls that aren't like the other troll kids. So,
Yeah. So you never know if yellow bloods could possibly just build humongous hives and just live in kind of like colonies of
But-
sorts.
but back on that subject,
Aside from that,
greens and teals and, well, maybe instead of green I should say olive, but teals and, for example, jade bloods. Jade bloods, for some reason specifically, are special. I don't know why. I really don't. I think it's because at one point they used to tend to the mother grub, or at least the adults did before the adults left Alternia.
Or
And
they
it became
all
a
sucked off.
child planet. Well, these classes, the middle class, I should say, tend to live kind of wherever they want, in a sense. More secluded, more I don't know, random, but they don't live by the
Kinda.
ocean. We're gonna get into that in a second. Blue bloods, purple bloods, violet bloods, and fuchsia bloods live near to in the water. The higher you are on the hemospectrum, the closer to the ocean you live. For example, blue and purple bloods live closer and closer to the shoreline, whereas violet and fuchsia bloods, who are just straight up fish people, live in the ocean. Well, then there's Aridin, who lives
in a wrecked ship.
in a wrecked ship.
Which that doesn't even make sense based on you have drones that build your hive, so
Okay, let's not nitpick. It's fine.
that alone doesn't
But-
make sense. But he's a hipster fish, so
Hipster fish.
it's probably cool
Um,
and hip to live in a wrecked ship instead of an actual hive.
Okay, well, now we're gonna get into powers. Red bloods have a telekinetic power. Brown bloods have the ability to manipulate animals' minds.
Druids. They're druids.
They're druids.
That's all it is. They're
Yellow
druids.
bloods, it's common for them to have psionics.
Lasers.
Green bloods don't have powers, though. No green bloods. No teals. No olive. No jade.
Yeah, they seem to be the most normal per se, I guess you could say.
That's probably
Out
a
of-
good word for it. Normal.
Out of because they don't really have any adept skills, say physically, like the Grand High Blood being his monstrous size and being able to smash through walls and everything.
Yeah.
They seem to be the most normal, and I think the most
We'll use that
sane
word,
too, because it seems
normal.
like the lower bloods would have many like mental disorders, I guess you could say, like chronic headaches and etc. from their abilities and everything, and Arati being a fucking psycho for the most part. So I feel like the
Like,
mid
she's obsessed with
bloods,
that.
But the mid bloods
into
would
that in a minute.
probably be the most normal. So if you're looking for a dull and pretty average Joe troll, you're probably making the mid blood.
All right,
I'd say something like that.
We'll keep that in mind. Okay, then there's the blue bloods, which for whatever reason, Vriska has the ability to control the minds of lower class trolls. I never could tell if her power was uncommon or if it was just something normal of people of her blood color.
I mean,
But
because if I remember, isn't Equius above her?
Equius is above her, right?
Yeah,
But he doesn't have any powers.
He's just really
incredibly strong.
Which that's just how all the high bloods are. They're just.
But the higher you are in the hemo spectrum, the stronger you are physically.
So I mean,
and the more violent you are by nature.
Yeah. So I mean, going off the basis that Vriska could possibly be a mutant.
Oh boy, that's a theory for another day.
I mean,
we'll get into that to another time if it comes up.
Based on being a high blood, but with psychic abilities, I guess you could say.
But I think it's probably safe to say I don't condone the Vriska mutant theory. I'm gonna blame him for this one.
I mean, I'm just saying based on how blood colors work and everything. But then again,
But maybe it is just something common in their blood and we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Jade Bloods were vampires, so it's not the weirdest thing.
Okay, Jade Bloods are depicted as vampires, but then there's Kanaya and her rainbow drinker junk, and I don't think every Jade Blood's a rainbow drinker. I think that it's a fantasy. But then again, she just straight up glows and drinks blood. I mean,
she walks in daylight. I mean,
what do I have to say about it? Anyway, okay.
But it's still Homestuck, so should we actually give a shit? No. But we're bored and we don't have anything better to do, and it's raining outside right now, so I mean...
This felt like a good time to do this, but...
Perfect timing.
Alright. Purple blood... Okay. Indigo bloods, which is the second half of the blue bloods, it's just skips, no powers. Then we go on to the purple bloods. The subjugulators, who, through their religion, gain the ability to, like... Well, they gain chuckle voodoo.
They get voodoo.
It covers a lot of different powers, and I'm not even sure 100% everything it covers. And I should look into it sometimes, and maybe I'll make a video just on chuckle voodoo sometime.
Crazy cultists.
Crazy cultists.
That's basically what you're gonna get. Which I mean, it's still not depicted that all purple bloods could be subjugulators.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere to say, is it written in stone that every purple blood has to be religious.
So but it's still on the basis that, yeah, you could technically make a purple blood that wouldn't be religious. He'd still be fucking crazy. Like, he's still, for the most part, going to be crazy, but on the basis of, do they all have to wear the face paint, be crazy religious people? No.
Like, for example, Ganzi and the Great High Blood are two of the most malicious and destructive trolls there are, at least on the Landwalker side. And then we get into Aridin, which is a violet blood. Aridin
kill all land dwellers.
Hates land dwellers. With burning passion. He is a condescending prick, but then again, he's royalty. Yeah. The blues and purples are nobility. He is royalty. And
he's still just a fish.
So are the fuchsias.
So, I mean,
the fuchsias and the violet bloods don't seem to have powers either, except their obviously their incredible strength, which I would assume they would get from, for example, like living under the ocean, all that pressure weighing on their body since they're young.
Probably. Their muscles would be a lot more dense.
But keep in mind that all of these different blood colors, all you have to choose from, there's a wide variety. You can find hemospectrum charts online all over, and that'll help you determine your blood. I do not ever suggest having a mutant blood. Do not be a rainbow blood or a
sky blood.
Sky
or
blue
white
blood
or black
or white or black. I mean, these things, look, I'm not going to tell you that you cannot do anything.
It just doesn't make logical sense.
But if you do decide you're going to be a mutant, be tactful. Make them a hemo add-on. For example, I don't see any hemo add-ons ever, like Carcat. Make them hide their blood color under gray.
Or go on the basis of, what you mean, role-playing to, such as fan fictions or whatnot, it'd be a bit different. But on the basis of making a mutant character, don't necessarily base them on living a full life and everything. You can do the whole basis of, yeah, their life is going to be total shit up until the point that they get cold. And, it sucks and everything, but it's good for storytelling for the most part. And that's my basis for mutants. You don't necessarily have to make them spectacular and everything. Yeah, I mean, they could probably get to the equal age of 13, and then, what do you know, High Blood met them, and now they're dead. That's just how it is.
I mean, I guess your mutant blood doesn't even have to die, but they're probably going to die.
They'll probably die at some point. Because either somebody's going to find their blood color, and they're going to kill them.
Listen, it's just their society. They kill mutants. Period. I mean, a high blood can kill a low blood for no reason because they want to.
And I mean, really, if you do the whole basis of a lot of headcanons that people have, say, tears and spit color and whatnot, it'd probably still be easy to figure out if somebody was a mutant or not, say if they had candy red tears and things like that. So, I mean, if you go with those headcanons, it'd be even easier to tell that you're a mutant and it'd be even easier to die. But in the webcomics, they never showed anything for it.
What do you mean?
Did they ever show any, tear colors or anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Terezi has teal, or has a, she cries teal.
So not even headcanon, it's just full-on canon. So, yeah, it'd be, unless your character is highly pain-tolerant, emotionally distant, and had no saliva. Because at some point, somebody's going to see your saliva. Like, that's just how it is. You're going to spit at some point. So, I mean, it's very rare for mutants to survive, for the most part.
Speaking of survival, let's go into let's move out of blood color. Actually, no. We're not going to move out of blood color just yet because I want to make mention of something. As a general rule of thumb, do not make your troll a lime blood. Lime bloods are a lost yellow-green blood color that has been extinct forever. They've been extinct for how long? Since the rebellion, right? Or was it before the rebellion?
It was before the rebellion.
It's before the rebellion. They're not a thing anymore, guys. Look.
Yeah, even in the ancestor arc, they didn't point anything out with it.
It's not even worth it.
Okay. Which, I mean, given, I guess you could do the whole basis of whenever you create a character, if you set it way before the rebellion and everything, then yeah, I guess technically you could have a lime blood, technically. But since nothing's known about them, then it'd be kind of hard to gauge what abilities they would have and where they would fit. I have
theories about that too, but
nonetheless, that's for something completely different. This is mainly about fan trolls.
Let's move forward, though, because we're at about 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes. I don't even know how long this video is going to allow me to...
May have to do multiple parts.
Oh, boy. Well, all right.
Hey, man, it's a lot of content, though. So.
Let's move forward to survival. Every troll has a strife specimen.
Weapons.
Period. Everyone has a weapon. For example, I have a Pokemon Stylus specimen. Fight me, bro. No, that's nonsense. I'm sorry. But,
can go for
one of my fan trolls has, he uses
trench knives.
Trench knives. Or knife kind, trench knife kind. It all depends. And that's just his weapon. He's not very good with it. He's kind of an idiot. But he needs to defend himself, and he knows that.
That's just how their society rolls.
Yeah, Alternia is not a very forgiving place. Alright, strife specimen, simple, cake, move forward.
So weapon, just don't give him anything to, 3 edgy 5 me, scythes and stuff, because first off, those aren't actual logical weapons, but, not every character needs to be a total badass. Yes, they live in a pretty harsh world and everything, but look at Carcat. It stated in Homestuck that, yeah, he was wielding sickles, but he looked like a fucking retard whenever he would use them, so... not all your characters have to be total badasses. They gotta know how to defend themselves, not be cool. They just gotta know how to survive.
Okay, let's move on to capture log modus. You don't need one. I mean, do I suggest you have one? Yeah. I mean, it could be related to your class spect, or maybe...
It doesn't have to be anything too big, either.
Maybe it could just be, part of their hobby. These you don't need one though because they don't really serve that much of a purpose outside of maybe story making.
Yeah, story making, flavor text for the most part. If you want a little bit more detail or maybe comical reasons such as John's, how it would launch the last item in his list if you grab anything new.
Yeah,
if you want to make a comic relief character, then yeah, it's pretty viable because capture lock modus can be just about anything, such as Gamzee's with his like miracle one where he literally defied the laws of his universe
Just
and
took
just
it.
kind of took his laptop out of it. But yeah, if you wanted to say you're doing a tongue-in-cheek role play or a comical fan fiction, then yeah, but it's not required for the most part.
All right. We're at 22 minutes, so I'm going to break this off now and hope that we can finish this in the next part. If this will not make me have to break it into two parts to upload it. All right. Well, see you guys in the next part.